Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 4 Part 1 gave us one of the craziest endings we've had in a long time. However, it not only left many questions unanswered, but also opened some new ones. And today we're going to try to figure out what it actually means and what Part 2 of this season is going to be about. And let's start with the biggest mystery of this ending, Ras. By the end of Part 1, Ras gains another source icon, which already puts him way ahead of everyone else. But what's even more important is where he is right now. He's in the Land of Eternal Dawn. In previous videos I called it the Land of the Rising Sun, but in one of the Ninjago magazines they used that name, and even though it might not be canon, I guess it sounds better. It's a realm we still know almost nothing about, and that's exactly what makes it so interesting. Because throughout the season we learned that this place is actually more mysterious than we thought. I don't know if this is some sort of an illusion, but ninja get everything they want in an instant. Like a place that grants all your wishes. Dr. Larrow found there the inscription on how to activate the Weapon of Desolation, and that would confirm it. I have a lot of thoughts on this place, and I've heard a lot of theories about it, but to hear them you'll have to wait for the next video. What matters right now is that Ras is there. And in Part 2 things are about to escalate even more, because according to early information, Dr. Larrow is going to help Ras bring back his tribe. And that's a little confusing to me, as in Season 3, after showing Aaron the fake graves of his parents, he tells him that he wants to bring back his people by reversing the merge. So now, we have two possibilities. Either Ras was lying back then, or the information about bringing back his tribe is misleading. But I think that's not the case here, because if you think about it, Aaron also wanted to bring back his parents. So Ras used that to connect with him emotionally, to make him more vulnerable, more willing to trust him. And that just shows again how smart Ras actually is. And now here's where it gets even more interesting. In Part 2, the ninja will finally learn that Ras is collecting the source icons, and they will try to get them before him. But from early the episode descriptions, we already know something huge is coming. Ras will most likely steal the source icon that Lloyd received from the Source Dragon of Motion. And if that actually happens, yeah, it's going to be insane. Because that would mean Ras is not only ahead, he's dominating the entire game and collecting those icons almost like Pokemons. Now, let's talk about something that might be more important than you might think. The Weapon of Desolation. It was introduced in Part 1 of Season 4, but its origins weren't explained. We know very little about it, and since it wasn't destroyed or anything, I guess it will have a deeper meaning in Part 2 or maybe even in Season 5. What's very interesting about it is the fact that it literally controlled Beatrix, and this could mean that the weapon has other properties than just summoning and controlling elemental monsters. Maybe its abilities include something even more terrifying than summoning elemental monsters. I guess it's some sort of dark energy, but can't really tell if it's chaos, darkness or just destruction, because we just have no clue. However, we can say it's something very powerful, as the inscription Dr. Larrow found, the one explaining how to activate it, was supposedly created by the first Spinjitzu master. And that alone changes everything, as this one sentence suggested it might be connected to something much bigger. And speaking of bigger connections, there's one theory that actually starts making a lot of sense now. The Netherrealm. I made a whole theory that it will return, but now we might finally have some proof. Because recently I came across a post where one of the Ninjago writers revealed something very interesting. That the first Spinjitzu master restricted Wu from visiting the Netherrealm because of some unknown past event. And that's huge, because what if that event is connected to the Weapon of Desolation? Maybe something terrible happened there. Maybe the weapon was used or created or even destroyed there, and that could explain why it was later split into parts and hidden in completely different realms. We don't know for sure, but the fact that the Netherrealm is set to return makes this theory way more believable. Now let's move to another important part of the ending, Sora's parents, because this reveal is actually way bigger than it just looks. At the end of Part 1 we see them take off their loyalist's mask, almost like they are now working undercover. So when they arrive at the monastery of Spinjitzu, everyone greets them normally, like nothing is wrong. Except for Sora. She's clearly shocked, and honestly she has every single reason to be. They abandoned her and now they suddenly come back. That doesn't just happen for no reason. They are definitely hiding something and up to something. So the question is, who are they working for? Are they still connected to Beatrix, or maybe they're working for Ras now, because that would actually make a lot of sense. And if that's true, then their goal could be something much bigger. Maybe they're trying to get close to the ninja, maybe they want information, or maybe they're after the weapon of desolation, because ninja probably hid it somewhere in the monastery, which would be absolutely insane. Because there must be some reason why they're in the monastery, and I don't believe they suddenly decided to switch to the good side. So basically, Sora's parents are a great mystery. So yeah, this ending didn't just leave us with questions, it gave us some hints. Ras gathering the source icons, the mystery of the Land of Eternal Dawn, the truth about the Weapon of Desolation, the possible return of the Netherrealm, and Sora's parents secretly working against the ninja. And it looks like all these storylines were building up for something bigger, for part 2 of course, and it might actually be the moment when everything escalates, and if that's the case, Season 4 could easily become one of the best seasons of Ninjago. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one!